Damson here and my genuine, and welcome back to the F1 podcast. I'm joined by Alan.
Hello.
So, look, I will have to say, unfortunately, David isn't with us for this one, so it's just you have the pleasure of me and Alan.
Yes.
Miami.
Car park, fake marina.
Real boats, mermaids.
Where else do you want us to go with it?
Cable cars over the racetrack.
Freeway.
Yeah. Copper stopped on the side of one of the overpasses taking videos or whatever.
What I realised was he wasn't actually stopped. He was actually positioned there because they actually closed that area off.
Oh, right, okay.
When you look at the aerial shots, you'll see that they'd actually closed that particular one off.
Just to stop anything going down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame he wasn't stood there with a speed gun.
Oh. That'd be funny.
It would have been.
You're nicked. Points on your license.
Yeah.
Over here, if you get caught doing that sort of speed, your car's getting taken off you.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it one of the police departments in America or something had actually tweeted out that they pulled over McLaren and actually something to do with tweeting at Daniel Ricciardo for it because, unless it's like jokingly saying unless you're Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, I said something briefly about it. Weren't too sure what was going on with it.
So, before we get into any of this conversation, what was your general thoughts on Miami race itself?
The race itself wasn't.
Well, I mean, just like the hype and everything surrounding it.
I think it was over. I think the hype was good. Don't get me wrong. A new track, you're going to get the hype. Did it live up to that hype? No.
Just as I thought.
Me personally, no. Although, from what I saw during pre-practice, and obviously the W series,
yep.
I was actually quite shocked.
Yeah, no one.
I was expecting an awful lot more safety cars and red flags.
Yeah.
Especially when you go around that one particular corner. I can't remember which tail it was, but just watch them go under the overpass.
About the left, right, the quick left, the quick right, slowed into the left again under the bridge, under the overpass. Yeah.
Yeah, coming out of that, it's just so narrow, so tight.
Yeah.
If they were last year's cars, sorry about that, guys. If that was last year's cars, yeah, fair enough. That'd been interesting to see. But this year, the cars are completely different. I don't think it was wide enough.
No, I mean, we're going to see the true test coming up in over the next what 4, maybe. Well, no, about 8 weeks. Is it 8 weeks?
Which one you want about?
Monaco.
4 weeks.
Is it 4?
Yeah, Spain's in 2 weeks, and it's Monaco straight after.
Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, I haven't checked the schedule. Okay, so it's double heading.
Spain, Monaco, back.
All right, so yeah, the true test will be coming when we get up to Monaco. Whether them cars and whether Monaco will suffice, because honestly, after seeing what we saw at Miami.
Yeah,
I'm possibly thinking this could be last year at Monaco, if I'm honest.
Don't get me wrong. The biggest thing they wanted this year was for more close racing.
They're getting it.
Oh, they're getting it, especially with the fact that the cars can follow a lot better this year. Compared to last year where the cars, you get in that section, you get behind that car, you just couldn't do nothing.
No.
This year, you're literally over the back end. We saw that several times throughout the race at the weekend. Not just with
Definitely.
Red Bull and
No,
Ferrari.
no, not just with them two. No, with like some Mercedes and
You got
Aston
Mercedes.
Martin.
Yeah, I think they were all like it for it was some really good. There was some really nice moves and overtakes and things like that. It was a nice race. It wasn't boring,
No.
but it's going to take a while to grow.
Well, next year they want that, don't they? They want Miami back. They've got Miami coming back. They've got Las Vegas
Well, that's it.
being
Next year,
added next year, and we've got Quarter. So we've got 3 races in America next year.
Yeah.
So
I don't see why they just don't do all 3 Americas back to back. Saves them having to keep flying off, coming back, going away again, coming back, go away, come back.
Well,
All
yeah.
3 in a row.
Well, yeah, because you've got, you
go Miami, Vegas, Kota.
Yeah. Which, it makes sense. We'll have to see what they do with the schedule.
To me, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but obviously next year it's going to be like Miami again. It's going to be an F1 hosted thing, so that'll be an agreement between, obviously Liberty Media and an F1.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, okay. As we sat there and said, it was built in a car park.
Yeah.
Around the Miami Dolphins football stadium.
Mm.
But I think because it was in America, there is an awful lot more hype for it because they are massive, massive
sports fans,
especially racing.
Mm. Oh yeah.
You've got your IndyCar, you've got NASCAR, IndyCars. You've got the lot over there, and they are huge petrol heads.
Oh yeah.
Only way of saying it.
In the nicest way possible.
Which is great for the sport.
Oh yeah, it's good for the sport. It was a sellout. It was a sellout crowd.
Do you know who I loved seeing this weekend?
Who?
Montoya.
Oh yeah. Mm.
He's done his Formula 1 and then went over to America to do NASCAR.
Yeah. Obviously practice was just practice.
Practice, there was an awful lot of, obviously, nobody knows the track. There was quite a few nice little accidents. Red flags being brought out.
Yeah.
Then obviously you had quali.
Yeah. Max screwed himself, clearly.
Yes, Max is screwing himself. But I was quite upset with Russell, especially after watching him in free practice 2.
It wasn't. I don't think it was Russell's fault. I really don't think it was Russell's fault.
I don't.
I think Mercedes had tweaked that fucking car. I think they'd messed around with that car and screwed him. That was FP2. Was it FP2 or FP3?
FP2.
FP2. Yeah, he went top.
Yeah, that car was just set up perfect.
Yeah.
And then they've made that even Toto said they've made that one slight tweak.
And fucked it. Well,
and
not.
Bang.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a shame. Because Russell could have been up there fighting with the likes of Perez and Sainz. I mean, okay, they haven't. The Red Bull this year is a fucking rocket on the straights. It struggles.
But as they said though, they were running low downforce. Which was Ferrari running higher downforce, which is why they were able to get that speed.
Yeah.
I think if Ferrari had that low downforce as well.
Oh yeah, Ferrari were probably quick.
Because through some of those corners, that Ferrari's quick.
Oh yeah. You could see though when he was trying to in the race when he was trying to catch Max back up, he was pushing. I'm thinking, come on, Charles, do a fucking Imola. Come on. Just do an Imola because you're pushing that hard.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
Go on.
there wasn't nothing special about quali. The only disappointment was obviously Russell.
Yeah.
You know. But that race, Aston Martin freezing their fuel. You know, somebody's having to sit there with a microwave and heating it up for them.
Yeah. People can't see that. My head is in my hand. They had good fucking quality positions and they chucked it because.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was the fact that their fuel would have been too warm. That was the only reason they both started from the pit lane, because what it was, the reason they had to freeze the fuel, if you weren't aware, if you just, obviously, if you listen to podcasts and you are actually an F1 fan but didn't catch Miami at all, Aston Martins had to start from the pit lane because of fuel problems, they said, but basically, the fuel had to be frozen. Because of the heat that was on the track, they said it was something like, was it 50?
Track temperature was about 50 degrees.
Yeah. So, if Aston Martin had have gone to the grid with the fuel temperature that they originally had in the car, we don't know what it was.
It was too cold. It's below the regulations.
No, it would have been above the regulations.
No, it was actually below, because they were allowed to obviously refrigerate the fuel to a certain temperature. Or the fuel's got to be a certain. Sorry, let me rephrase that. They can freeze that fuel, no problem.
Yeah.
But before it goes into the car, it has to be a certain temperature to meet regulation standards, the FIA regulations. Because it wouldn't have got to that temperature because it was still too cold, they didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, because they got a penalty.
Basically. So basically what they've done is they actually had already fueled the cars. They just basically emptied the tanks just to get it back up to regulation temperature before putting it back in. And that was the problem.
Yeah, but to be honest, I kind of didn't blame them for freezing the fuel. It was just a bit of a mistake, really.
Yeah, I don't think they got it out in time.
No. Because they had them two, Vettel and Stroll had good quality positions.
They did. They had very good quality positions. And I think they could have done a lot more in the race.
Yeah, but because of what happened, they got hampered. But yeah, the reason why they've obviously froze the fuel, because of the temperature outside as well, they didn't want to run the risk of that, the car sitting on the grid too long with the fuel getting hit by that temperature, because they could have, basically the cars could have exploded. Is what they were trying to stop by freezing the fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I think the temperatures they had at the weekend at Miami, I think the average weight loss of a driver for the race was about 3 kilos. Which doesn't sound a lot, but it is a hell of a lot.
Oh yeah, 3 kilograms is a lot. You got to think though, the heat, they were sweating. They looked like all of the drivers that you saw at the end of the race.
Well, Sainz had his top off in the cool-down room.
And then turns around and goes, "Don't film me." And what do they do when he's putting his top back on? They turn around and filmed him. They literally turn around and film him. It's like, he asked you not to do it. It's like, Jesus Christ. But
it was an interesting race.
It was, to a degree.
I just do want to touch up on one point, which was the W Series.
I was about to say the W Series.
Um, yes, it's nice to actually see it. Especially at Miami for the very first race of it's nice to see.
But
But after watching the race, obviously it's different race directors and things like that. We know that.
actually, it's not.
Isn't it really?
No.
I thought it was a different race director.
No, same guy.
Well, I think he made a big mistake.
Too right, they made the mistake.
After that crash, because obviously they're on with for those that don't know about the W Series, W Series isn't done by laps; it's done by
Time
time. Once that reaches 0, I think they do 3 laps afterwards.
Mm.
And then that's it, race over. Now, after that crash,
Yeah,
which was it was a nasty crash.
not as bad. Not as bad as going to the Spa crash, like.
No, but still a nasty crash into the side of the wall. You can see how much damage and how much debris was all over the track.
Mm.
That safety car was out for way too long before they red flagged it.
Oh yeah.
They red flagged. I think I was watching one point. I can't remember if it was at Miami or not, but they red flagged one point during a free practice too early.
Yeah.
Because all he'd done was stopped and he had to reverse. That's all it was. He got himself going, but they red flagged it. And I think that they're just not getting it right.
Do you know what it is? Do you actually know why the red flags can come out very quickly? It's the sensors in the car. It's the sensors in the car, and it's the sensors in on the driver. The driver, as you know, like once you saw the race, they're hooked up.
Oh yeah, they've got sensors in the gloves, suits, everything.
Yeah, and because
it's basically they're monitoring their whole vital signs.
Yeah, but because when they have a shunt, the sensor is very, very it seems trigger happy. So if they've had a shunt, it'll be a red flag. Because it'll be the sensor that's gone very sort of overkill.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was us talking about it or whether it was on the commentary. Even though they can do it in low speed crashes, the G-force in the vehicles, especially Miami, were stupid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But this is what is sometimes causing the prolonged, because obviously the W Series, I don't know if they're hooked up or not, like the F1 drivers are. I'm not sure.
I don't think they are properly hooked up because obviously they're completely different design cars. They're smaller.
Oh yeah.
They're not the same designs. Yes, they've got the halo, but that's the only similarity you have. They don't have DRS.
No.
But again, watching the W Series, it was interesting to watch. And
I think
the speed that they were still doing in those cars.
Oh yeah, and I think the only reason why we got to see the W Series actually on the Sky, because usually it's actually on Sky Sports. Is it Sky Sports F1/W Series or something like that? It's usually streamed on the internet. Is because there was no F2. There was no F2, no F3.
No.
There was no other support races, so it was quite nice to see the W Series being shown. But going into the race, I mean, let's move towards the race here. Towards the start, I mean the start. Ooh.
Before we even do the start of the race, grid walk.
What about the car crash? Yeah. Can we call it a grid walk though?
No, because he was just stood there.
Because he could... Do you think
But, hang on, but he did manage to get an interview with one of the Williams sisters
Yeah, I know.
without being pushed away.
Without being snubbed.
But did you notice that the bodyguard that was there, or wherever he was last time, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. Because they've probably been... They've been told the bodyguards have to be off the grid. They've been told. It's either, you know...
I mean, I saw with they were moving Matt Damon through,
Mm,
and people wanted to shake hands. But even then, the bodyguard then, he was literally pushing everybody out of the way.
yeah. It's a simple thing. You want to be on that grid. You respect their world.
Well, they weren't even. This wasn't even on the grid. It was out the back of the paddocks.
Yeah, but you want to be anywhere on the in the F1 circus. You respect F1.
Yeah,
It's simple as. Because you're being shown around the world.
yeah.
People can catch little things like you say. I missed the Matt Damon thing. I missed that bit. But if you'd have seen if you'd seen something like that, I was like, ooh, okay. You know what I mean? You'd start thinking things. It's like that thing when I said to you, because I don't think David caught it, because he never said anything. When they were talking to Horner.
Yeah, somebody come up to him and he just didn't want. He was busy talking to Coulthard and Brundle
At the same time, and you saw his hand go back.
Yeah,
To basically tell him, fuck off. I'm being sort of dealt with, sort of thing. I get it. I kind of get it a little bit. Temperatures will have been a bit high as well because of the fact that the temperature probably out there was ridiculous. It's probably over 30. I think it was about 31 degrees. Our temperature, 31, 32. Now that is fucking hot. So I get people, people will start to get frustrated. But that grid walk was just an absolute fucking car crash. Pardon the pun.
yeah. Well, see, I've been reading some bits and pieces since the race, obviously. I don't know if you were aware of it. That the F1 drivers actually criticised the FIA over unacceptable lack of the Tech Pro barriers.
Where was that at Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, because one point under that tunnel.
It was turn 13 that obviously both Sainz and Ocon lost control.
Oh yeah, basically straight to a fucking concrete wall.
Yeah, what I didn't realise, did you actually know what G-force he was actually hitting that wall at?
I'll just take a guess at probably 30G, 35G.
Keep going, try 51.
Oh, shite. That's a hell of an impact. Yeah. Bloody hell. Well, yeah, I to be honest...
And apparently, Sainz actually...
did his neck, didn't he?
Yeah, but both Sainz and Ocon hurt themselves.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't blame the drivers. I mean, that'll get brought up with fucking George as well, because he's obviously head of that driver's safety shit thing now, isn't he?
Yeah. Well...
Oh, there'll be a lot of criticisms and a lot of things to learn over Miami, especially with that course. To be honest, yeah, now you look at it and you go back and look at the course properly.
Well, yeah, I mean, even because apparently Carlos Sainz actually complained to the race director after his crash on Friday about that corner, and there's still no change.
I'm sorry, I think if that had been Michael Massey, I think he'd have done something about it.
when you got somebody, the caliber of Carlos, saying something like that, something needs to be taken up.
Especially, he will have seen him crash.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get for... Yeah, everybody hated Massey for what his decisions. But one thing he did do was get shit changed, if needed to be. And very quickly. They could have easily got that done overnight.
Yeah.
But because of these new race directors, they just... I don't know if it was one of the new guys that have come in, or if it was a stand-in. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, unfortunately.
Because nothing was ever said.
But as we were saying about red flags and safety cars, good call by Russell to start off with.
Yeah.
Obviously, for those that don't know, Russell started out on the hards. They weren't great to start off with.
I'm not surprised with the track temperature.
But then they soon came to life.
Mm.
Because I think even Hamilton was complaining after the first 5 laps of being on the hards.
He was.
That the tyres were dropping off.
Mm.
And it's just because of the heat.
Oh, yeah. The tyres were just way too hot.
So, obviously, by the time it's after that then obviously they've gone through that first part and then the tyres kick into life.
Yeah.
But that, I don't think it should have been a virtual safety car to start off with. I think that should have been a safety car after Norris. Catalyst incident is this, by the way, guys. I think that should have been a safety car and then a red flag myself.
I don't think it should have even been a safety car. I think it should. I personally feel that should have been straight red flagged. That's how I feel. I think that should have been red flagged. They took too long fucking around. They really did. The race.
The problem is, did Ocon actually get done for it? Was it Ocon?
Yes, he did. Was it not? Was it Ocon or was it Alonso?
No, it was Ocon.
Yeah, he got done for it. He got 5-second penalty after the race. Yeah, there was mistakes that the stuff that need to be basically learned from that. Yeah, it was Guan Yu Zhou didn't finish. Norris didn't finish. Gasly didn't finish. Vettel didn't finish because of his tangle with Mick Schumacher. Whoops. And Kevin Magnussen didn't finish either. There. So, obviously, Verstappen got an additional point because he set the fastest lap of the race. Alonso and Magnussen received 5-second time penalties for causing collisions. Ricciardo and Alonso received 5-second time penalties for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Okay, maybe he didn't get done then.
Didn't think he did.
No, he didn't then.
Yeah, because Alonso drops out of the points at the Miami Grand Prix after post-race 5-second time penalty.
Yeah.
He finished 11th, pushing Stroll up to 10th.
Mm-hmm. And obviously Danny Rick dropped to like 13th in the end. But yeah, no, I don't think he did. Where did? Yeah, because Ocon finished 8th. I gotta give credit to Albon, though. Yet again, he finished in the points.
Yeah.
In a Williams. Um,
I mean, I've got to give it to Russell. You know, he dropped back quite a bit at the beginning of the race.
oh, yeah, he got swamped.
And then those tyres came to light.
Yeah, and then basically he got a cheap pit stop.
Which is great.
Like we said, there was some good battles, really good battles between drivers. Some rookie mistakes, especially from Mick Schumacher on Vettel. Oof. I noticed I did watch something after the race as well. Apparently Vettel was looking for Mick Schumacher.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, they were talking in the pen, and I think it was Rachel or somebody or whoever it was doing the pen. Turned around and asked him what was who was he looking for, and Vettel turned around and said Mick, and then it was something like, "Oh, I haven't seen him yet," but he didn't look pissed. That was the thing, because if you noticed Vettel's reaction when he got hit by Mick, he was a little pissed and he said, "Oh, well, that's our race done," sort of thing.
Yeah.
If that had been any other driver, Vettel would have been steaming.
Yeah.
But because it was Mick, I reckon, they'll have kissed and made up. They'll have had the words, and I think Mick will have apologised because Mick didn't mean to do it. He just outbroke himself.
Yeah. Well, Bottas did that, didn't he? After the restart, and gifted it to Hamilton and Russell
on the bit where they resurfaced.
I'm not sure it was that bit or before.
I think it was.
Obviously, he went into the corner quite right.
Yeah, that was the hairpin. That was the bit. That was a bit before the. That's where they'd had to resurface because the asphalt had melted.
I mean, I would admit there was an awful lot of late braking going on. It was who had the balls to do late braking.
A lot of late braking? Jesus.
It was an interesting race, as I said, but I don't know. I need to see what it's like next year.
Yeah, it didn't live up to the hype.
No.
Didn't. Really didn't. I mean, I was hoping that we're going to show Russell and Hamilton. I was ashamed they didn't show that live. Hamilton.
Well, it was. Russell got past him. And then if you actually look at because obviously I was watching the race, and I could see on the side that Hamilton was ahead of him again. But they didn't show that, how he got ahead of him, and then Russell overtook him again.
Yeah.
They didn't show that bit. They showed.
That was it.
They actually showed a replay of his first overtake of him with DRS going down the straight.
What it was, basically, them two went hammer and tong against each other. Russell went off track, and it did show you in the end. Russell went off track, gained the advantage, handed it back to him, and then just took him in the end. They gave it back to him to satisfy the FIA, the race director. Obviously, it's between the teams, obviously. They have to sort it out because it's obviously two Mercedes drivers.
I mean, that's a bit like with Haas. I think Haas had that brilliant qualifying, and the race just seemed to let them down.
Yeah.
But Mick was quicker than K-Mag at one point.
Oh yeah.
And I think after a while they realised that, because if you noticed, when Mick overtook K-Mag, you could tell straight away that was done by team orders.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. To be honest, you're going to hate hearing this. Even though George is second driver, this season, George is first.
Yeah.
George has been considered as a first driver, and Hamilton. Sorry, guys, but Hamilton doesn't like it.
No, he doesn't.
Which is a true fact. George has come in and outperformed Hamilton on numerous occasions. It's a shame, obviously qualifying, obviously Hamilton got through, George didn't.
Well, I saw a video on Facebook,
But if
and it was a TikTok, and somebody shared it. I can't remember who, and it was basically saying what we've been saying all the way through about Russell, how he's so used to a crap car,
or as we like to call them, shitboxes.
Yep. So he's able to deal with it better.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody was, saying, going on about bits and pieces, and it's about someone, well, how he's used to it. There is no way. There's no way of describing it. Russell is used to these shit boxes.
Yeah.
Therefore, he's going to perform better.
Oh, we've been saying this all season. We said this from Bahrain, really. I think we've said it from the opener. Russell is used to the shitboxes, so he is going to perform them better. He's gonna outdrive Hamilton. Hamilton's not used to a shit car, apart from obviously when he started out in McLaren days. But since then, the Mercedes have been the dominant force. The car's been the dominant driving force.
It was a shame to see Norris crash out, though.
Actually, it wasn't his fault, though. Actually, it wasn't Norris's fault. He got tagged.
Yeah.
As you could tell by the wheel going bye-bye. The wheel making an escape for it.
Well, so much he got tagged. Gasly went off on three different occasions in that one little section. And he did not. I'm sorry. You can watch the replay as much as you like.
He didn't know Norris was there.
He didn't check his mirrors, though.
No, he didn't.
Coming back on the track, he did not use those mirrors to have a quick glance to see.
Oh, yeah. He didn't know Norris was there. There was no way in hell did he know Norris was there. And he tagged him.
How no other driver no other car got damaged in that?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see Ricardo? Danny Rick had to slam the brakes on because the tyre was coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of him.
I'm not surprised he slammed the anchors on. Fucking hell. That's the thing. I'm sorry to jump back. Was it FP3? You not see Max nearly going to the wall?
Yeah. A lot of them were tagging that wall.
No, I wasn't on about that wall. You know where the Red Bull sign was? You know where Leclerc liked to go up and take too much curb? Especially even when he was pushing in the race, he was taking too much curb over that. The left, right, and then left under the
bypass.
Yeah. And where you saw Max heading for the fucking wall and he slams the anchors on and Justin manages to get it stopped. How he managed to get that stopped? I mean, yeah, he'd still be going at what? 50 mile an hour?
Yeah.
And he got it stopped. They've got good fucking brakes.
Well, he got to,
he did, like I say, he did screw his tyres up a little bit, but...
As I was saying, the average speed go around that track's about 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. It was like, basically, it's like Jeddah, another street circuit. And
yeah.
I was very surprised at the lack of accidents. So they've obviously...
After watching all the free practice, yes, I am.
But makes me wonder if all of the drivers had spent a lot of the time in the sim. I reckon they'd been on that sim for God knows for ages. I reckon,
because you think none of those cars actually did any long runs.
No, they didn't do long fuel runs.
Compared to other trucks where they're literally lap after lap after, they're doing 20 odd laps. Just in one hit sort of thing on hards.
Yeah.
They didn't do that.
No. Because
no team had actually, I don't think any team actually run their hard tyres during free practice.
No, they didn't. But was that because of the temperatures? Or did Pirelli just not know? With the hard tyres?
I don't think they knew.
No. I think they were very, very uncertain in terms of tyre, like what the tyre simulation would be for Miami, especially in the heat.
Well, that was the thing. You had the heat, and then obviously just before the race, they had that downpour.
Yeah, they did.
But you wouldn't think there was a downpour.
No, that's the thing. To be honest, speaking from experience, I've been out in Florida. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was in Disney. There was a thunderstorm. It fucking chucked it down, right? And I was like, okay, shit. All of a sudden, storm goes away. So, downpour goes away. 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. You would not have known that it had even just been that thunderstorm if you hadn't have been there.
No.
It's like they said they had that threat of rain, but they didn't. It wouldn't do any much harm.
No.
Unless
because by the time it got down to the ground, it's gone.
Yeah. Unless it did what it did. When there was that downpour, But that's Florida weather for you. That's the Miami weather.
Yeah.
It can come and it can go. See, they're gonna, even if the next year they'll have to pick a decent time they can do the race. Because if they were to do the back to back to back, to be honest, if I was doing the schedule, do you know what I'd do?
Go
on. If I was doing the schedule, I would go Bahrain to Jeddah. Obviously, you've got to leave Abu Dhabi till last. So you do your testing in Barca, or wherever they do it.
Yeah, do Barcelona and Bahrain, don't they?
Yeah. So I'd got Bahrain. I'd go to Jeddah. Then I would go to I'd do Australia again. Bump that out. Then I would go, like you say, Miami, Vegas, Kota. Get the American tracks done.
Yeah.
Okay? Get them out of the way. Then I would go...
But you could also say, there is another way you could do that, though, with those three. That will tie in well with another 2 other races. You can do all 3 Miamis, Mexico and Brazil.
All 3 in Miami? You mean basically...
All 3 American races, then
the
Mexican, then you got Mexico and then Brazil.
Yeah, but they like to be towards the end.
Yeah, but the weather is still not that bad over in America that time. You think that sort of travelling wise, it's not going to be that bad for them.
Yeah, but obviously you'd have to be very careful. If you notice, that's why we don't get a lot of European races. Oh God, we've got Canada as well. Didn't bloody put Canada into the equation.
Well, they've sort of changed things around this year. We've said this before. The British Grand Prix is earlier.
It's before Austria, sorry. Before Austria this year, where it's usually Austria. It's usually Austria and then Britain.
Because I think it's normally, is it normally Canada, France, Austria, then Silverstone, British Grand Prix.
So obviously we're going Spain, Monaco, Baku, Canada. Then we're going Britain, Austria, France. Then we're going Hungary,
And then it's a
Belgium.
break.
Yeah. Hungary. After Hungary, it's a summer break.
Yeah.
Then we're not going to. Oh, that's gonna be the killer. It's nearly a whole month
I know.
without F1 action. God damn it! I'm gonna have withdrawals.
Stand by for the F1 videos.
There will be F1 videos. God damn it. That's going to be ridiculous. I'm going to have withdrawal symptoms. So obviously between that time, we're not going to have any podcasts for nearly a month. But that's fine. Then, yeah, we go into, obviously, Belgium. Then after that, after Belgium, we go to Zandvoort. And then back to Italy.
Yep.
And then Singapore, if it's there. Japan. That'll be nice. And then we go to Qatar. Or United States Grand Prix. Then we got Mexico, Brazil, and the season finishes this year on the 20th of November.
Yes, but don't forget.
Yeah, it's World Cup.
Yeah, no. What have they got to replace the certain Grand Prix?
I actually don't know. I forgot about Russia. What have they got to replace Russia then?
They haven't announced anything yet, have they?
No. Well, when the hell was that? When was Russia going to be? Because they haven't got it on the calendar. I haven't got my t-shirt. Damn it! I need my t-shirt. 1 second, guys. If you hear me rooting a bit, don't worry about it. I have a t-shirt with the F1 races on. I need to know the date of Russia. I could have just Googled it, but Alan will probably Google it by the time I find this fucking t-shirt. Whoops. I said the word, and my phone reacts to it. Nope. 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 There we go. Russia.
It was supposed to be between Italy and Singapore.
Told you to Google it by the time I found the fucking t-shirt.
I think it was race number 17.
I'll tell you now. Britain. 25th. 25th
Yeah.
of September.
Yeah, because it would have been Italy, then Russia, then Singapore.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you put there? What would you put there?
Me, I'd love to see the Chinese Grand Prix back.
Well, do the favours though, wouldn't it? Because what's after? Hang on, what's after it?
Singapore.
Yeah, do him a favour, really.
Than the Japanese.
Yeah, kind of do him a favour. See, I don't want them to put Qatar. Would be a real shit idea for them to put in. Them travelling over the Middle East and then going back into Asia.
Or are they going to do
Well, they wanted a double.
are they going to do a double race at Italy?
No, they wanted double quota. They did want a double race to the America. No, it wasn't. They wanted a double race at Singapore.
See, I'd rather a double race at Italy.
Double race at Monza would do me fine. When's the next sprint? Where's the next sprint? Because it's not Britain this year. Austria.
Yeah.
So, is it Brazil again for another sprint? Yes, Austria and Brazil for the sprint. I don't know. I would. They've not announced. Like I said, they haven't announced anything. Whether they're struggling to find somewhere, but who knows? So, I know Davis usually says this, but you got any predictions for the next race?
I'd love to see Science take the win.
That's not going to happen. Team won't allow that with Leclerc leading the World Championship.
Yeah, but it's home Grand Prix.
I know it's his home Grand Prix.
Top three in no particular order: Leclerc, Verstappen, and Sainz.
So you think it's going to be basically Miami then, all over again?
Yeah, I mean, unlucky for Perez to have that engine
sensor
problem.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see. This is 1 in a million chance. Verstappen, obviously. Sainz. And Alonso.
Yeah.
It'll never happen with Alonso. Well, I shouldn't say that because Alonso's still, he might track me down one day and, shouldn't call him out really, but I reckon he'll have a lot of support there, I reckon, with Alonso.
Oh, yeah, he will.
But Spain is, I think there's going to be, if Mercedes can get George's car back to the way it was.
Well, they changed the front wing, didn't they? On
No,
both cars.
They did something.
Oh, the other thing I will say, I can't wait for Monza for one particular reason.
To watch Red Bull pass the Ferraris and
No.
McLaren?
No, sorry, it was Kota. I think it's Kota. Did you hear? Obviously, you saw the grid walk
Where at?
at Miami.
Yeah.
What did Zach Brown say?
Oh, you want about
Andretti.
Andretti?
Yeah. I think it was Kota they're on about.
Depends on a bet. They'd have to have a bet, wouldn't they? But if Zach Brown did that for Andretti, that would be... If they do it and show that would be fucking brilliant. So basically, if you didn't catch the grid walk, if you tuned in just before the start of the race after the national anthem was like, okay, yes, this is going to piss a lot of Americans off, but what the fuck was that shit? God. That was a bad version.
For him to turn around and say, Kota, this year,
Yeah.
get Andretti in a car.
Mm.
And then Brundle.
Yeah. If they can do it, that would be fucking brilliant. That would be brilliant. But the thing is, that's the way it's like, look at the bet he had with Ricardo.
Yeah.
See what he did in, was it the stock the NASCAR or something?
Yeah.
He fucking loved that. That you saw when you saw him in that NASCAR. It was like, But if they can do it, if he does it, and if it doesn't kill Mario Andretti, but yeah, Jesus, that will be some sight if that happens. But no, I don't know. Spain's just going to be whatever Spain is, and we'll have to see, because we'll have to see what the weather does as well for Spain.
Yeah, you can't predict the weather at Spain, but we will see. It's going to be an interesting one.
It will be.
Because obviously, as we've said all the way through, these cars are following so much better.
Mm. Oh, yeah. We know they are.
But yeah, science.
Leclerc and Verstappen, you said.
Yeah, science, Verstappen and Leclerc. I think it's my top three.
Like I said, realistically, my top three is going to be Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez. And if not Sainz, there's going to be a battle between them for all season.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if George gets up there. It'd be nice if Lando can get back up there.
Be nice to see Ricardo come through, though.
Yeah, that would be nice. Get McLaren up there. I know we always talk about Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, and all that lot. But that's all. It's kind of like, even last year, it was basically Red Bull and Mercedes we'd always talk about. We talk about Aston Martin, we talk about Alpine and stuff, but it seems to be a dominant thing within these podcasts at the moment is Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yes, we do talk about the other teams, but only when things seem to happen. But no, it would be nice for McLaren to be up there with the Ferraris as well, and the Mercedes. Just not have a 1 or 2 team battle. Let's have more teams. Just it's a shame that there is all this bollocks of the car development. It's basically, why don't they just do it like, it'd be interesting to do what we could do on the game. Give every fucker equal performance. Let the driving show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than all this upgrade bollocks, give them equal performances. Everybody equal performances. Let the driving show. Wonder what would happen then. But obviously that's never going to happen. Because there's not the money there to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
There may not be a Mercedes Formula 1 team by 2026. We shall see. It'd be a shame if there isn't. It'd be a shame if Mercedes pull out their F1 team. Especially with George doing so well now. But obviously, if you don't know, Daimler, who were owners of Mercedes-Benz, they basically sold up. And if that is, if it's a case of, to what I've been reading is true, Mercedes might only just be an engine supplier by 2026. But I honestly can't see that happening, if I'm honest. I mean, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat. But I just think that it'll be a shame with Russell, because I know it's like start of the season, but he's doing well. And it'll be a shame. I mean, okay, as you can tell, I'm making, Hamilton disappear, because Hamilton will have retired probably by 2026. I don't know who else they'll bring in, Mercedes, because I don't know who they've got coming through their programs at the moment.
The other thing I will say about Miami is they need to sort out their podium.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that podium. What the happened with the podium?
So the podium was literally on the opposite side.
Was it not in the stadium?
No.
Because I know Because they were using the stadium service road, didn't they?
Yeah, they had to use the service road to get to the other side
Hmm.
of the stadium. So they used the service road. They had the police escort because obviously, as you saw, everybody is literally walking down.
Oh yeah. Well, the police they went right past bloody Christian and Jerry, didn't they?
Yeah, you got people walking out in front of the police car bikes. You know, you literally got the sirens going. People are still walking out in front of them.
Yeah. I don't. I get it. I get it's a first year, but they probably do need to rethink that. What took them so long to actually get to the podium? Was it because of the people, or was it just because Max wasn't
Well, obviously,
ready?
I think they took. So what they've done is they took the clearing science first.
Mm.
Then they got the vehicle back for Verstappen.
Yeah.
And obviously you then got Verstappen and everybody else going with him. Then they got to get through to another bit. But the problem they had was the police escort was there waiting for them,
Mm.
but you had other vehicles
In the way.
parked in the way.
All right.
The big black SUVs that they had there were parked in the way.
Whoops.
So they had to get them out the way
Wow.
before they could let them through.
Jesus Christ, that was bad organisation then, wasn't it?
It was horrendous. Then obviously they got to get through the stadium, and then obviously you got everybody. So I think they wanted to try and get them through before
The crowds went through.
the crew were walking through.
Yeah. Didn't happen.
Which didn't happen.
No. Clearly not. But yeah, no, it was. Did you notice who presented the trophies?
Yes. Dan
Marino.
Well, yeah, they're going to.
I did like the one thing I will mention that I did like the Ricardo's Miami. Was it Ricardo's tribute helmet?
Oh, what, the Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. Lando's obviously at the basketball, and there was a couple. I think Guan Yu Zhou had a Bugs Bunny one, like a Space Jam inspired one.
Yeah. So, but
yeah, there's a lot needs to be to basically. We're obviously just going to close. I feel that a lot needs to be learned from Miami. In terms of if they're going back to Miami again there, because apparently the pit building is permanent.
Okay.
Yeah, the pit building is permanent.
Fair enough.
So it looks like they're going back to Miami. Like we say, the barriers on that certain corner, barriers on certain corners where there's likely to be crashes, not just concrete walls. Like you said, the podium needs a rethink.
There's an awful lot that needs to be rethinked when it comes to next year. Obviously, barriers is one of them. Podium. There's so much that needs to be rethinked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we will see.
Well, to be honest, even the TV angles weren't great.
No.
They just, for some reason, they just couldn't keep up with the action as good as they normally could on a track. They did struggle. As you know, we missed a lot of stuff happening on that track.
Yeah.
There was a lot that could have been covered, and it didn't get covered. Like I say, the whole Russell and Hamilton thing could have been covered. There was just too much going on.
Yeah.
For it to be caught. Maybe one thing I would actually say, and probably a lot of the drivers will say, is maybe limit the amount of people on that allowed on that grid.
Or at least give them the right information.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Maybe just like I say, if the pandemic had still been rife, I'm going to finish with this, but if the pandemic had still been rife, there would be no way Miami would have happened. There'd been no way you would have got that many people on the grid. You know,
No.
you wouldn't have got all this. And I get it, you know, everybody will have been probably whether they're testing or not, I don't know, but probably tested and, you know, they've had to show some sort of vaccination proof. But I still think that was a bit of a COVID nightmare there.
Yeah.
You hardly saw people wearing masks. See, it's a bit weird because the F1 drivers went from wearing masks to not wearing masks. Then some countries, they do wear masks, obviously on the COVID laws. But I didn't think America's COVID law was, their COVID situation was that relaxed. I get it, they were outside in the heat, but still, the amount of people that were on that sodding grid, you could have easily caught it.
Just one of them things.
But I still say limit the grids, the amount of people allowed on the grid. Because there was a lot of press there, and, you know, it was car crash TV, was that grid walk.
Yeah.
But we as F fans, we enjoy the grid walk. I enjoyed the grid walk because it made me laugh. I had a good laugh at the fuck-ups. But it was nice to, it was nice to see the whole Zach Brown thing. That was a good thing. And it'd be nice to see if that happens.
Yeah.
But I believe, obviously because Zach Brown was caught on camera, they're saying it.
He's a man of his word.
I know he's a man of his word. I'm not going to call him out, I'm not going to call him out to be a liar. I think he will make that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you saw him with the Blue Angels.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, apparently they showed a bit of it. Zach Brown went over the Blue Angels. He said he enjoyed it, but it was a different experience. And he probably wouldn't do it again. Even though he's a sort of an adrenaline junkie, he would not. He said, I don't think he'd do that again. Just because of some people can hack that sort of thing, and some people lose their lunch. Yeah. Anything else you want to close with?
No, bring on the next race.
Yep. And the podcast will obviously be returning for then after the Spanish Grand Prix, and hopefully it will be Alan and David with us. Should be, shouldn't it? 22nd. Well, 23rd is when we'll do the podcast.
Possibly.
Be a Monday anyways. Just as usual, just because we like to dissect. We usually have decided that we'll do it a day after the race rather than race.
The one that I would admit that I won't be able to make would be unfortunately Monaco.
Well, if me and David need to cover that, me and David will have to cover that. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Me and David can always cover that if need be.
There'll always be a podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Two of us or three of us. There will always be a podcast.
There will be. So yeah, until next time, guys.
Adios, amigos.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget, follow us on Twitch. All links are in the description. And yeah, it's goodbye from us. So until next time.
See you later.
Goodbye for now.